there, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are doing well. I hope this video finds you doing well. So we're about to wrap up the uploading day with this update video regarding Draya Michele receiving or suffering a setback in her homestead quarters. I actually did a video on the platform. Oh gosh, it's probably been a few months ago now, that has a lot of the details, initially what was going on with the eviction situation or drama that was happening with her and her ex-boyfriend. And so that had a lot of great details provided in there and sets us the stage for what has now happened in this video. So if you have not gotten a chance to check out that video, I would really highly recommend that you do and get yourself spun up on the initial, because I'm going to continue to keep a lookout on this particular story and provide updates as they come through to the platform, since I've already initially provided it and shared it with you guys. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into what this update is for a former Basketball Wives turned actress, small screen actress, I believe, turned business owner, entrepreneur. And now we also know that she had just recently, maybe within the last 6 to 8 months or so, maybe a little bit longer than that, had a new bundle of joy. So yeah, lots going on for her at this point. But let's go ahead and get into this particular sharing about the ongoing saga that is the eviction. So now, according to In Touch Weekly, it shares that Draya Michele suffers setback in eviction battle with ex Tyrod Taylor. No enforceable contract. Now, Draya Michele suffered a massive setback in her court battle with her ex-boyfriend, New York Jets star Tyrod Taylor, who she claims is attempting to evict her from a $3 million LA home In Touch can exclusively report. Now, according to court documents obtained by In Touch, a hearing was held in Draya's lawsuit against Tyrod 35 on October 10th. The judge ordered 4 of the 6 claims Draya 39 brought against Tyrod be dismissed. Now, the court found that Draya did not have an enforceable contract with Tyrod, and the judge said the evidence showed the exes had talks about Draya buying the home in question, but there was no real agreement in place. Now, as In Touch first reported in June, Draya filed a lawsuit which asked the judge to force Tyrod to follow through on selling her a home he owns and not be allowed to evict her from the property. Now, Draya claims she lives in the home in question with her children. She said Tyrod brought the home for her in August of 2022 when they were dating. Now, Draya said they agreed she could purchase the home from him when she was ready. She said she agreed to buy the home from Tyrod in late 2023 for $3.2 million, but claimed Tyrod was not trying to evict her, trying to evict her. Now, Tyrod denied all allegations of wrongdoing. His lawyer said Draya submitted an unsigned lease, an unsigned purchase agreement, and emails evidencing at most negotiations for the possible purchase of the subject property. The NFL star asked that all claims be dismissed. In Draya's lawsuit, the former Basketball Wives star said that her oral agreement with Tyrod allowed her to purchase the home from him between November 2023 to October 2025. Now, on or about October 23, 2023, did I say that right? October 23rd, 2023. Draya and Tyrod memorialized. There you go. This is what happens when you're filming all day. Memorialized the terms of their oral agreement by drafting a residential lease agreement with an option to buy agreement, the suit said. Now, Draya said the deal wasn't signed because they were in an intimate relationship. She says she spent $270,000 on home improvements because she believed she would be buying the home eventually. Now, Draya said she sent Tyrod an offer to buy the home for $2.8 million in October 2023. He declined the offer and sent over his counteroffer of $3.2 million. Draya says she accepted the offer that was said, and she would continue paying $19,000 a month in rent until the deal was finalized. Now, at the recent hearing, the judge noted that while Tyrod did send a counteroffer, Draya did not accept it within the 30-day deadline. Draya sent a message to Tyrod's team accepting his offer in January, more than 60 days after the initial deadline, the judge noted. Now, Draya does not allege she communicated acceptance or provided proof of funds or pre-approval of a loan within the time prescribed. The counteroffer had already lapsed when she attempted to accept it, and she had no power to accept in January. The court did rule that Draya can still bring claims over the $270,000 she spent on improvements, but the model will also be allowed to amend her lawsuit to re-argue the claims that were dismissed. Now, Draya and Tyrod were first spotted together in 2020. Tyrod was playing for the Los Angeles Chargers at the time. He currently plays for the New York Jets. And in May, Draya welcomed a baby with Houston Rockets star Jalen Green, 22. So there you have it. That's the update. It looks like multiple counts or claims that Draya had in her complaint or in her lawsuit have been dropped. Actually, 4 to be exact out of the 6 claims. Basically, the judge is saying, hey, look, I do not see a written agreement in which that you guys had made the ability to set for you to buy this home within that certain period of time. And then to boot, even though there was more communication about it, you did have a deadline to respond with the actual presenting of how much you would want to purchase the home for, and then getting the counter offer and going past beyond the time frame that is shared that you need to provide a response. So this puts her in a sticky situation. Now, one may say, look, why don't you just go ahead and bow out of the situation, which is probably what I would do, and get your own place and be done with the whole situation altogether. Why hold on to this? Now, I don't know what this home looks like. It must be a beautiful home in a beautiful location. And obviously she had her mind set on this particular home, and that's great and by choice, but it doesn't seem like things are working in her favor in order to be able to actually purchase the home from him, because at the end of the day, he has a counter offer. She didn't accept it, so he can feel free to sell it to anybody he wants. And I know that she's hoping that he will somehow decide to just change his mind maybe and decide to go ahead and sell with her. And that's still a possibility to happen, but I don't know if that will happen, because she had offered $2.8 million originally, and he came back with $3.2 million. So she's not looking to go up to that $3.2 million. And actually they get to a point where they can say, okay, and let's look at that again. Let me see if she accepts. I think she did accept it, but yes, she put in for 2.8, got the counter, the 3.2, waited too long, past the 30-day, which actually ended up being more than 60 days to then accept it. By then he can move on from that, right? So, and that's exactly what's being shared by the judge. So he has no obligation to continue in the good faith of that agreement, because the time period had lapsed. So tell me your thoughts, share your thoughts. Would you, if Draya would just go ahead and move out, would that be the idea of what you would do? Or would you try to continue to keep fighting for claims to keep the home? I'd love to know your thoughts. I think that people are a little bit split on this. Some feel like, I would try to, see if I could find some way to work this out. So, because moving and all that kind of stuff is never a fun thing to do. But see, the problem is when you don't have things in writing, we talked about this in the last video, when you don't have things in writing and don't have it shored up, this is where you can have some complications. And a lot of times when we're dealing with relationships in the matter of the heart, we don't always take the time to take those elements that we know we should put in writing and sign and have agreed upon, because we're so in love at that moment, or whatever it is at that point, that we forget to take the time to sign the dotted line. So with that being said, this puts her in a peculiar situation, and one in which I would say, look, let the house go, find something else beautiful that you can afford, raise your children, have peace, and just move on. I mean, at this point, what are we holding on to? The house? For what purpose? There's other properties out there, I'm sure, other beautiful properties. It's LA. I'm sure you can find another one in that price range for that, no matter. And then also too, at the end of the day, look, he's not, the relationship was started in 2020, and we all know what was going on at that time of the year. So, there was a lot of people who got together real quickly and hung out, because we all thought that the world was coming to an end, and then quickly found out that maybe this relationship wasn't going to work out for long term, and then decided to all split up. This is what happens, right? We were at the end of the world feeling, and then when we found out the world was not going to come to an end, at least for, the ones that it did not come for in for, we decide, hey, look, maybe this relationship isn't for me, and let's move on. And that is what she did. She moved on, has another child by somebody else. So I just keep it moving. I mean, honestly, forward movement is sometimes the best way, especially in things like this. What's the point in continue going back and forth? Then we have legal fees now we have to cover and pay for. Who's taking care of that? At the end of the day, you're wasting your time and your money and your funds and resources. But hey, look, one may say it's hers to waste. So yeah, I would love to know your thoughts. So leave us respectfully down below in the comment section. Yeah, and that'll do it for this video. It'll do it for this update. And of course, if you haven't seen the first one that it kind of introduced the situation, feel free to go out and check that one out too. Yourself some additional information if you like. And with that being said, make sure you give this video a like. I would so appreciate it. If you are new and you haven't had an opportunity to hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do that as well on your way out, because I would love to have you here as part of the family. And I've got so many videos and so much content to bring up to the platform that I'm going to be giving my opinion on. I would love to have yours respectfully as well. So with that being said, thank you so much for being here. Take care, be blessed, and until next time, bye.